So hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. I am sitting in a 2021 Nissan Armada. This one is the 5.6 liter V8 with, 3 rows and a bunch of little luxury bits sprinkled in there. Yeah, this is a pretty awesome package. So stay tuned. I'm going to give you guys a little walk around tour of what the Platinum Armada brings to the table. And hopefully by the end of this, you guys will, maybe want one, because the days of getting a V8 big 3-row SUV are kind of coming to an end, and Nissan's been doing this one for a long time, and it's got a refresh, a nice interior. So, let's find out exactly what those bells and whistles are. And before I get any further, special thanks to Offenberg Nissan over here in O'Fallon, Illinois. If you're in the area, be sure to stop in and let these guys know you would like to buy a Nissan. So as I said, it's a 5.6 liter V8 that's making 400 horsepower, so that is some good numbers. It gets about 14 city and about 19 highway. We won't worry about the 14, and we'll just focus on the 19, because 19 for a big V8 SUV, that's pretty good numbers. I mean, you don't need to dig into it or do too much research. It's all right. I mean, who cares? It's a V8. Excuses. I mean, I can try a little bit. The best part of all that is this is essentially a truck, right? It's take the Nissan Titan and you put a nice SUV body on top of all of that frame, and you've got the Armada. So it can tow about 8,500 pounds, which is honestly better than most SUVs on the market. I can't think of any right off the top of my head that can out-tow this. Along with that glorious V8 is going to be a 7-speed automatic, so no CVTs, none of that, so you don't have to worry about if that's your fear with Nissan, no CVT problem here. The 7-speed is plenty smooth, plenty buttery, and it does a great job getting this thing from 0 to 60 in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not going to say it's fast, but it's certainly not a slouch. So I pretty much changed things up a little bit. We're not going to dive into the exterior too hard. Here's a couple shots of the outside. You can kind of judge for yourself if you think it's good looking. I think it's great. It's got cool daytime running lights, great LED headlights, and I mean, this is the top SUV that you can get at Nissan, so of course it's going to be treated as such. With these SUV types, I tend to focus more on the interior, the space in the third row, fuel economy, things like that that are actually practical, important parts of daily driving this thing. So for some of us, we might not want the V8, but for those of us that want a V8, you already know why you're here. If you didn't know this has the V8, well, now you do. And now I would hope that you would stay, because you have just earned extra cool points in my book. So I'm actually going to start with getting to the third row. So one little flip here, pop up, boom, look at that. Seats out of the way. So let's hop back in there. You got your nice running boards, a little step up, and nice entry. So let's do this without ripping pants here. Oh, okay, that's different. So you'll notice that this is quite a bit of steps to get up here, and this is actually pretty high up. But now that I'm sitting in the back, I'll have to move that seat out of the way and deal with that in a little bit. But that process is not as smooth as I would have liked it. I will say that. But let's go to the space over here. Hopefully you guys can see me pretty clearly. This lighting is not perfect for me, but it gets the job done. So 5'9", I'm sitting back here. I got just enough room. These seats don't go anywhere else. There's a little bit of an incline on them, but that's about it. Cargo space, you can see just a good bit, but otherwise I'm sitting comfortably back here. I always test this, but these don't care if you're sitting in them. As you can see, I'm moving. I'm getting ready to fold. We folding, but you can also do that from back here, so it's nice to be able to adjust the third row seats, I guess, while you're kind of able to reach over the second row seats. If you don't need that other seat, the captain's chairs, I think, are the best way to go. But pretty good space back here, no complaints, very reasonable, and you can see the rest of this is sharp. You got your sunroof, and just great materials, nice and soft, good leather. I like it. Just so you can see the height I'm talking about. Up and in. Lock this back in place. Back here, this is where you would adjust your fan speed, your climate settings, all that. You got your heated seats. And of course, Nissan does the little arrow so you know which side it controls. Obviously this side and that side, but for those of you that don't know. And if you're back here and you need storage, you just press this button. Boom, and they got a storage console area access thing too. Oh, this actually goes right into the center console. So if, you know, you conceal carry or anything like that, you can just throw that in there. Your rear passengers can do that, I guess. But I will say that's something that I have never seen before. So I like that. The second row people will have their own console right here. Cup holders, you can close that. So that looks nice. And yeah, just console just instead of a second seat, which is nice because if your kids tend to fight, you know, there's a little bit of separation. So when they're, you know, throwing hands, you're able to separate them a little bit. And then back here, you got two screens, HDMI port, USB, headphone jack. Voila. You know, I do like the Armada and I love the V8. And sorry that it's dark, guys. Unfortunately, time has gotten away from me, but I'm hoping I can capture the beauty that is the Armada. So we're gonna start right up here. This is what the driver sees. I'm gonna start with this cool thing though. So you can go from this basic mirror to, bam, camera. I love that. Look at those guys doing car salesman stuff. But special shout out once again to Offenberg Nissan. These guys are pretty cool. Look at that. They got a bunch of Nissans. But let's turn this down. Give you guys a quick little pan. Look at that. Great materials. This is one of my favorite Nissans. I know that it's not the most fuel efficient, but it is spacious. It's nice. I just like it. You got your memory seats, your steering wheel controls. Nothing crazy there. Your gauges, half digital, half analog. And as I've shown in a couple Nissans, there's just a couple things to really point out. Your fuel economy there. You can go into here and you can see just your compass if you need that. This does have sign reading, so it'll tell you the speed limit and everything like that. Auxiliary gauges, fuel, battery, pressures. We can go into your safety, and then from here you got your lane departure, forward collision avoidance, blind spot monitoring, so pretty easy to get to all your driver assistance features. One of my favorites though is Nissan calls this a round view. So let me see if I can show you. When you hit the backup camera, you got this view, which is kind of your top-down 360 camera, and Nissan just calls it a round view. I mean, I guess that's kind of creative, but it doesn't really seem too creative. And you got all the different views. Not the best resolution, but they're cameras nonetheless. Whenever you do put it in reverse, since this is a behemoth of a SUV, these side mirrors do tilt down to make it easy for you to park. Great feature, parking sensors, all of that. And if you're ever wondering what you're driving, look at that Armada. Dual climate control, heated and cooled seats. And the cool thing about here is if you want to control the rear tri-zone, you click on rear on and off, and then now click on rear control, and it turns this into a control for the rear. So if you just want to go back to normal, there you go. And if you turn it on or off, they can control that from back there. So pretty nice. Fairly responsive. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's not slow by any means. Look at that, 74 degrees on December 3rd. What great weather we're having. Fuel prices, oh, look at that. And you can go into your maps and find your directions to Offenberg Nissan. And let's go back, no. The one thing that's kind of silly with this is, I guess there's no way to really go back once you're in these things. So you just have to keep hitting menu button here to get back to this home screen. I'll have to see if there's another way to get into here, but you can go into your connections, and this is where you'd have your Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all of that. The standard stuff, the bells and whistles. And if you're wondering what's behind this, you press this little button right there, pops up, and you've got a little spot in there to charge your phone. And it is a wireless charger, so it would be like this, and bam. So your phone's out of sight, you're not doing anything bad while you're driving, and you're staying focused on the road. Can't be mad at that. Well, I guess you can, but oh well. But we'll go ahead and we'll close that for now. You got this little light right there that's gonna let you know if your phone is charging. And right next to that, you'll find your trailer brake controller. Then on this right-hand side, you're gonna have all your little drive modes, and you can go into your 4-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, snow mode, and tow mode. Easy enough, right? Let's move some of this out of the way. Click in here, cup holders, ambient light. Look at that, looks like little halo things. Close that. Then here, if you want to just navigate through your menu, you could just use this knob instead of the touchscreen, so it makes that nice and easy. It's not the best thing to use, but it's kind of like a joystick, trackpad looking thing. Yeah, interesting. And other than that, those are all the features that this has to offer, and the key things that I think that you need to know. Down on this left-hand side, you got your heated steering wheel button. This is going to be for your blind spot monitoring. And that's all I've got for you guys on this one. Thank you so much for checking out yet another video in LJ's Garage. Sorry these Nissan videos were so quick. They were kind of spur of the moment. I just wanted to go see some new Nissans because I've been excited about getting my hands on these 2021s, 2022s, and seeing what Nissan is doing nowadays. And so far, I've been pretty impressed. I hope you guys are as well. And, you know, hopefully you'll stay around, hit that like button, comment button, subscribe button. Let me know if you got any questions, concerns, comments, all that good stuff. And until next time, take it easy. Take care of yourself.